Hello and welcome to a special edition of Battle Cry. I'm Gaurav Sawant. One of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's KRA, key result areas, has been Aatmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India in defense manufacturing. How successful has the journey been so far and what are the challenges ahead? That's our top focus on Battle Cry today. One of the biggest challenges for Prime Minister Narendra Modi remains achieving self-reliance in defense and especially weapons manufacturing. While it has been a slow start, the Ladakh standoff and a vibrantly willing private sector have triggered a slew of recent decisions that have raised great hope for Make in India in defense. There is a long road ahead, there is no denying the fact, but the first real steps have been taken to achieve that big Aatmanirbhar boom in defense. From Tejas light combat aircraft to Tavor rifles, from indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant to rule the seas, to the S-3 submarine to enforce sea denial. India is going full steam ahead to be Aatmanirbhar or self-reliant in defense manufacturing, a key focus area of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
आज जब देश आत्मनिर्भर भारत के मिशन पर चल रहा है तो उसका एक लक्ष्य एक्सपोर्ट्स में ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन में भारत की हिस्सेदारी को कई गुना बढ़ाने का भी है।
The 155mm howitzers was seen as a battle-winning factor in the Kargil War of 1999. These 155mm howitzers once again are a KRA for self-reliance in defense manufacturing. For more than 7 decades after independence, and despite having fought multiple wars at the borders and against terror within, India was still importing small arms systems. Achieving self-reliance in manufacturing rifles has become priority for the government. After Narendra Modi was re-elected Prime Minister in 2019, the Ministry of Defence notified the first positive indigenization list of 101 items in August 2020, putting an embargo on procurement of certain weapons and systems. This was followed by a second such list in May 2021, putting a total of 209 items which were being imported now on the red list for import. The Prime Minister's big focus is on indigenously designed, developed and manufactured weapons and systems.
आज देश ही नहीं, दुनिया भी देख रही है कि आधुनिक ग्रेनेड और राइफल से लेकर लड़ाकू विमान, आधुनिक ड्रोन, युद्धपोत, ये सब भारत में ही निर्मित करने का अभियान चल रहा है।
The government not only enhanced foreign direct investment in defense sector up to 74% through the automatic route, but also enhanced it to 100% through the government route. The cabinet approved procurement of 83 light combat aircraft Tejas from the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the Indian Air Force in January 2021. On the 13th of January, the cabinet approved the procurement of 73 light combat aircraft Tejas Mark 1A and 10 Tejas trainer jets at a total cost of 45,696 crore rupees. And this upgraded indigenous Tejas is armed with beyond visual range missiles and electronic warfare suites and air-to-air refueling capabilities. The Cabinet Committee on Security also approved the procurement of 56 C-295 transport aircraft from Airbus Defence and Space, Spain. These aircraft, with a capability of lifting 5 to 10 tons capacity, are a replacement for the Avro aircraft, and 40 of these are to be built in India by a Tata consortium within 10 years of the contract. This project is expected to give a massive boost to the domestic aerospace ecosystem. Drones are increasingly emerging as a game changer and battle winners globally. The Indian Air Force is focusing on startups for swarm drones. They have a capability of carrying out precision strikes on enemy targets. Multiple startups came forward and demonstrated drones that had a range of 10 kilometers and made 10 medical drops. The approved drones are also being tested at high altitude battlefields in eastern and southern Ladakh. Indigenously built aircraft carrier INS Vikrant and the country's second indigenous ballistic missile submarine S-3 are expected to be commissioned next year. Both platforms are indigenously designed and constructed. They are the largest and the most sophisticated platforms to be built within the country. Both the aircraft carrier and the ballistic missile submarine are seen as star attractions of the celebrations marking the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also inaugurated the Defence Industrial Corridor in Uttar Pradesh with multiple nodes to manufacture a number of weapons and systems, including drones and anti-drone systems.
कल तक जो अलीगढ़ ताले के जरिए घरों की दुकानों की रक्षा करता था, वो 21वीं सदी में ये मेरा अलीगढ़ हिंदुस्तान की सीमाओं की रक्षा करने का काम करेगा.
Prime Minister Modi has repeatedly said his government's commitment towards self-reliance in defense production is not limited to talks or just paper-bound proposals. On ground, of course, the big challenge would remain time-bound delivery and quality control. Bureau Report, India Today. India Today has accessed the first images of the new swarm drones being made in India. Deadlier, destructive and extremely precise. These drones are designed to collaborate and then hunt in packs. Swarm drones are built to saturate and overwhelm the enemy and are equipped with collective sensors to search and track. Swarm drones also give a major push to the Aatmanirbhar Bharat initiative. They're going to be 100% made in India drones. We bring you an India Today mega exclusive report.
A drone released from an Indian Air Force Su-30 fighter. Flipping open its wings, it glides intelligently into an autonomous flight path. Unhindered by human control, the drone quickly gets into formation with others like it already in the air. Together, the drones cruise stealthily into hostile territory, pooling their collective sensors to search and track. They combine their computers, providing a collaborative system designed to hunt in a pack. And when they finally find a target worthy of destruction, they're intelligent enough to decide which one of them swoops down for the kill. What you've just seen is an Indian drone system that's currently in development and will soon be in flight test. But the company developing it has just landed a major contract from the Indian military for cousins of this system. And India Today has the first images of the new swarm drones. 4 birds lined up at a hidden location. They're identical in every way, but there's something special about them. Launched into the air, programmed to fly to a target location, these drones aren't flying solo. They're talking to each other. Cooperating, collaborating, working as one, working as a swarm. What you're looking at are the first public images of a type of swarm drone system that has just been ordered by the Indian Army. 100 such drones, a mix of these and copter drones, will be supplied by Bengaluru-based startup New Space. Founded by an Indian Air Force veteran, Sameer Joshi, who leads a young team developing a slew of drone and artificial intelligence systems for the future battlefield of the Indian military. While videos of the actual trials of these drones by the army are classified, what India Today brings to you is concept imagery of what these drones can do. Seen here, for instance, is a group of tanks, with one of them launching a New Space Alpha strike drone into the air. Harnessing intelligence from a group of swarm drones already in the air, foraging for targets, these strike drones distill the most accurate targeting information to seek and destroy. While Pakistan has begun using small drones in mini terror strikes in J&K, the new drones for the Indian Army have a far bigger picture in mind. These cutting-edge systems are built to collaborate, saturate, and overwhelm enemy defenses. The momentous contract to an Indian startup for swarm drones goes beyond just the drone hardware. It's very important to remember. It's about the software code that goes into making these tiny killers in the sky so lethal, so unavoidable, and so inevitable. Bureau Report, India Today.
Soldiers in extreme high altitude areas or in far-flung areas so far have either had to carry their equipment and warlike stores on their backpack or mules or have them heli-dropped. But all of that is set to change. On Battle Cry, we get you details of cutting-edge, made-in-India capability for next-generation warfare. Made-in-India cargo drones for high-altitude warfare and troop deployment. Here is all that you need to know. Hot meals delivered by a swarm of drones to Chinese soldiers at high altitude. A propaganda video that was released at the peak of the India-China standoff in Ladakh. A move by China to taunt India and highlight India's lack of such a capability. And while the Chinese were certainly right, India has taken the taunt constructively. And Battle Cry has the exclusive scoop on how India has reacted. What you're looking at here is a fully made-in-India cargo drone for high-altitude troops. Seen here being tested in the forbidding terrain of Ladakh. 48 of these drones have just been ordered by the Indian Army in a milestone fast-track contract to Indian firm Rafe M-Fiber. These drones, called MR-20, are capable of carrying loads of up to 20 kilograms. And in thin air of extreme high altitude, that's a huge amount. Operating individually or in groups, each drone can carry items that include food, fuel, medical supplies, emergency equipment, weapons, ammunition, and anything else that troops may require in forward areas in high altitude. The use of these drones will also drastically cut down the need for helicopter flights that are inherently risky to pilots. And unmanned drones mean more deliveries can be conducted per day with no crew fatigue. The utility of such drones is not difficult to imagine, and with a startup fleet of 48, the Indian Army will be able to serve several forward posts with items they need, forming a robust air bridge that becomes a powerful supply chain. The MR-20 drones will begin deliveries shortly to the Indian Army. The company that makes them is among a slew of cutting-edge firms serving the needs of a future battlefield, and is working closely with the Army to get set for a new paradigm in military logistics. Drones for delivery will soon be a part of daily life, with companies like Amazon, FedEx and UPS embracing such technology for a new delivery mantra. And while Ladakh will be the first playground for this new capability, expect cargo drones to spread wide in the armed forces in the months and years ahead. Bureau Report, India Today. And continuing with India's big Aatmanirbhar push, Indian Army now gets new hunt and kill drones. That's right, hunter-killer drones, hundreds of them. These Sky Strikers will be made in India and are built to quietly hit targets about 20 kilometers away. Here's a closer look at the new lethal drones. A tiny drone is launched into the air. It cruises stealthily into enemy territory. Switching on its camera, it searches and tracks. And when it finally has enough information, the drone transforms into a missile. Falling silently out of the sky, it smashes into the target, destroying it. You've just seen a single mission by a Sky Striker, a mini drone. And it's the latest strike weapon purchased by the Indian Army. Over 100 of these Sky Strikers will be built in India by Indian firm Alpha Design through its joint venture with Israeli company Elbit. The Made in India drones will begin deliveries as early as next year. The Sky Striker is designed for long-range precision strikes of more than 20 kilometers, can loiter over a target for over 2 hours. The Sky Striker can be given pre-designated targets. It can also autonomously hunt targets. The Sky Striker is similar in mission to the Israeli Harop loitering munition in service with the Indian Air Force, though the latter has a hugely greater range and endurance and has a much more strategic mission compared to the Sky Striker, which is designed for nearby targets that could be just across the border. Sky Striker could be launched by Indian Army's infantry or special forces units to silently hit Pakistani terror launch pads or suspicious movement across the line of control. The fact that the drone have daylight cameras make them super useful for strike missions after dusk. And with over 100 launch pads still active in the area, there is no shortage of potential targets. While the use of weaponized loitering drones carries its own risks and depends entirely on solid target intelligence. The very fact that the Indian Army has chosen such a weapon speaks volumes about the missions it wants to be ready for. Bureau Report, India Today. One of the hallowed grounds for aerospace research, specifically drone research in India, is the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi. India Today's managing editor, Sandeep Unnithan, visited the campus to see how students are working on cutting-edge swarm drone technology, collaborating with the armed forces.
They are the future of warfare. Drone swarms turned the tide in the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict last year. They were used by Israeli Defense Forces in their operations against Hamas in Gaza this year. On June the 27th, suspected terrorists used 2 mini drones to attack the Indian Air Force station in Jammu.
You've all seen drones, but the drones that you've seen are the ones that operate alone. What if you could get multiple drones to fly together and operate like one single machine? Possible? What you're about to see will take your breath away, because you're going to see India's first Desi drone swarm.
What you're looking at here, in the heart of the national capital, is a set of 66 nano drones operating in perfect symmetry. They're the work of a startup inside IIT Delhi. They've been designed and developed indigenously and programmed to fly just 3 meters apart to form these shapes in the sky.
What you're seeing behind me is a drone swarm working in perfect synergy with each other. 66 drones working to form different patterns in the sky that you can see. And this is what a drone swarm essentially is. Multiple UAVs, multiple drones working together to form patterns, to operate together. This is the essence of a drone swarm.
Drones can be bought off the shelf, but creating a drone swarm like this light show is a programming problem. The challenge is getting individual units to work together, and that's what this drone startup at the Indian Institute of Technology in Delhi did with a 50 lakh grant from the Department of Science and Tech. They developed the communication protocols, the motor controllers and flight controllers to share information and manage flight paths to get their drones to fly in a coordinated path or form a shape in the sky. Make no mistake, this is only the beginning. A drone swarm like this can be stepped up to the next level. They can be used to saturate enemy air defenses, attack soft-skinned vehicles, aircraft and troops in the open. They can even be used as anti-drones to crash into enemy rogue drones. This is the reason that every military now wants a drone swarm. And this is the capability drone developers like this one are working on across the country. Drone swarms can be broadly classified into 3 levels of increasing complexity. Level 1, where the drones fly in a pre-programmed flight path. They are unaware of their surroundings. The drones have several pre-programmed flight paths, out of which the operator can select any one. Flight path coordinates can be updated on the fly. Then there's level 2, where the drone swarm is aware of their surroundings and terrain with pre-fed coordinates which they follow to execute a particular mission. And then there's level 3, These involve fully autonomous and self-aware drones that operate as a pack to execute a single mission. They take decisions based on the changing environment dynamically.
So what it can do is multiple things. Let's say if you have a radar installation, it can just hover above it and just clutter their feet. It can saturate their defenses to the extent where conventional forces become much more potent against them. Apart from that, they can carry payloads and they can actually lay a minefield in real time. So there are numerous applications. We still are just at the surface of the application of these things.
Is India ready to meet the challenge posed by this new era of drone warfare? Yes, it is. But for that, our drone entrepreneurs and developers need all the help that they can get. For India Today, this is Sandeep Unitan in New Delhi.
The road ahead is clearly not easy. The challenges are immense. But as they say, where there is a will, there is a way. We will continue to track India's journey for Aatmanirbhar Bharat in defense manufacturing very closely. But that is all we have time for on Battle Cry today. Many thanks for watching.